Should I grow my business with paid ads or stick with organic content? Now, I know you've thought about this in the past, maybe you've even been down both routes before. In this video, I'm going to help you think through this topic at a deeper level by way of 5 short case studies of education businesses at different stages of scale, together with some commentary from me on what factors they should think about in their situation when considering paid ads versus organic traffic. And one of the examples you're going to see is a business of mine. See if you can spot which one it is. If you don't know me, my name is Olly Richards. I'm the founder of StoryLearning.com. It's a multi-million-dollar online education business. I'm also a mentor and advisor to other online education entrepreneurs. So the pros and cons of paid traffic versus organic are generally well understood, but let's be clear about it right from the start so we're speaking the same language. With organic traffic, it's very powerful and it feels like free traffic once you've got it. But you are one algorithm change away from oblivion. Your entire business can literally be taken away from you if YouTube decides to update its algorithm. With paid ads, on the other hand, they promise unlimited scale and you are in control, but they're very, very hard to get right and you can go broke trying to figure out how to do them properly. So what is an entrepreneur to do? Well, let's start with our first example. Business number 1, a social writer, someone who writes on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, that kind of thing. This case study focuses on a social media writer who's built a successful mid-6-figure digital course business, growing their following entirely on social media, probably supported by a newsletter as well. So with a big Twitter following or LinkedIn following plus digital courses, someone in this situation has become accustomed to very high profit margins. They enjoy writing, they love the relatively passive lifestyle, but they've recently seen their lead flow from social media dry up as a result of algorithm changes. And as I record this in August 2024, this is happening to literally everybody. So how can they replace their lead flow? Well, the Twitter decline has left them spooked about moving into new organic channels because, well, isn't this just as risky? If I start YouTube, can't the same thing happen all over again? And so this social media writer is considering using paid ads to diversify their traffic sources. If they get paid ads right, it offers them the potential to scale their audience to the moon with none of the risks of organic traffic. But here's the thing. They will likely have to use their existing digital products, which they sell for a few $100s, to liquidate their ad cost, nothing more, which leaves little to no profit at the end. If they want to actually make money, they will almost certainly need to add a higher ticket back end. And that's fine, that's exactly what you should do. But this is not a business that this particular entrepreneur wants. They enjoy this passive writing lifestyle, and changing their whole business model just for the promise of more money or a sense of existential safety is a pretty big decision. Ultimately, the choice is theirs to make, but by aligning their business strategy with their personal values and desires, what they want from life, that way they can make a more informed decision. Now, if this kind of content is useful, by the way, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. There's lots more where this comes from. Now, business number 2, this example is a coach, right? So this is a coach who's making around $20,000 a month. They've built a steady, profitable business off the back of their existing contacts and their online following. Most of their clients are coming from Instagram, which they've built steadily over a few years. I know many, many coaches in this kind of situation. They are enjoying keeping most of the revenue in the business as profit. They consider it kind of their money, but it's essentially a very well-paid job that's keeping them very, very busy. They want to raise their prices so they can work less, but they don't have enough lead flow to do that. So if this coach ever wants to scale out of direct one-to-one time, they have no option but to increase their lead flow. So they have 2 options. First is to become world-class at Instagram, which is what they're already doing, and scale their following further, or they can use ads to grow. Now, in this scenario, there isn't a great deal of proven track record. They're able to make good money from their business because of the high-ticket coaching back end, but they have a relatively small following. Now, while this is powerful, there's no evidence that this following that they have organically can actually scale much beyond where they are. So they have a choice to build the future of their business on organic or on paid. Organic, of course, remains very high profit, but there's always the risk that the business can be taken away from them at any time. It also puts them on a bit of a content hamster wheel. Paid, on the other hand, offers unlimited upside because they've got enough room on the back end to profit, and the business can never be taken away from them. If anything happens to Meta ads, they can start running ads on a different platform. In this scenario, growing with ads is very, very appealing and probably what that coach should do. Now, case study number 3, this is an example of a new business. So this is an entrepreneur who already has an existing business and they want to start a brand new business, maybe using their personal brand. They've stepped back from their existing business, it's being managed effectively. They want to put their creative energies towards something else. They know what they want to build and they don't necessarily have to spend too much time figuring it out. They've been around the block before, and they have also some substantial resources from their existing business and can afford to invest that into the new venture, which is going to be an education-based business where the real asset is audience. So you can think of it as a classic personal brand type business. The question is, do they grow with ads or do they grow organically? Well, there are only two ways to get any business off the ground: time or resources. Time, of course, is never actually free, and so in this case, there really is no downside to using ads, provided that you have a certain tolerance for losing the money in a worst case scenario. What would make even more sense, though, is splitting the resources so that this entrepreneur could buy ads to get quick traction for the business, while also building organic audiences on the side for that long-term diversification, and as a way to bring down overall customer acquisition costs, which is what happens when you pair organic with paid. Now, case study number 4 is a YouTube educator. This entrepreneur has a YouTube-based teaching business that generates a healthy 7 figures in revenue. But despite the success and profitability, the business has reached a plateau, likely hitting the natural ceiling of what's possible with one YouTube channel. It hasn't grown for years. The business is great, but it's not growing. So the owner now faces a crucial question. With YouTube capped out, should they venture into paid ads to continue growing? Well, one thing's for sure, with a mid-7-figure business, diversification is essential. But there is another consideration here, one that is not often talked about. As an established creator business with a clear way of operating, it's almost inevitable that their existing business model will not translate seamlessly to paid ads, because cold prospects behave very, very differently from your loyal YouTube subscribers. This means that they will likely have to adapt their entire business model to work with paid traffic. And after 10 or more years in business, here's the question: does this entrepreneur have the energy for a change of this magnitude? New team members with different skill sets are going to be needed, and to quote a good friend, is the juice really worth the squeeze? To continue to scale, there's no doubt that this path will be necessary. They will need to go through to paid ads because any organic channel does have a natural cap. But there's another option that's important to consider. As a multi-7-figure business that is still going strong, the owner has considerable raw earning potential. They should consider the possibility of streamlining the business, cutting overheads, maximizing profit, and taking serious money off the table for the period of a few years. And in this scenario, the owner could consider extracting themselves from the business, using their time to either gradually build another traffic source, starting another business, or pursuing other passions entirely. There's no easy decision here, but understanding the task ahead and examining one's own life desires can greatly simplify the decision-making process. And this whole thing of combining what you want from life with your business is something that I go into quite a lot of depth on in chapter 10 of my case study. It's a case study where I explain how my business works from top to bottom. It's 118 pages. It's completely free. There's a link in the description. That last chapter, chapter 10, goes into a lot more depth around this. Now, example number 5 is a services business. Now, this services business has $1 million in revenue, but the business owner is fed up with delivering the services and wants to pivot to a new, more passive model where they can focus on quality of life over the size of the business. This person knows what they want to build. They have the sales skills to make it happen fast. They also have the choice of building their audience from anywhere that they choose. Now, in this case, what do? Well, the benefit of organic is that it suits their lifestyle need quite nicely. They can focus on building slowly over time with their existing skills. They can probably get a lot of traction quite quickly. But the benefit of ads is that they have this wraparound skill set to be able to move faster than someone who's less experienced with ads. And this overall skill set that you need to run ads effectively is really, really understated. Very, very important. But they are also willing to have a high-ticket consulting offer as part of their funnel, meaning that they have the ability to not only get ads working quickly and generate a return, but also to create the high-ticket backend to actually give them the profit that they're going to need. So really what you should take from all these examples is the idea that it's not just a kind of clinical black or white decision. Should I run ads or should I do organic or ads? It's not that simple. You really have to consider all these different aspects of the overall business and lifestyle, the state of maturity of the business, the skill set of the entrepreneur, what they actually want from life, whether they want to continue to scale or whether it's growth or profit. All of these things really factor in. And what I hope you take from this is the importance of needing to really understand the dynamics of what you're dealing with and making your own decisions. Now, I did say earlier that for an established creator business, it's almost inevitable that their existing business model will not translate seamlessly to paid ad. And in this video over here, I explain exactly why that is. You should go and watch that now to understand exactly what you're up against.